Hey guys, it's Cali. Today I'm going to show you how I created this art journal page as part of March's Dice and Deal Challenge. If you're interested in checking out how I did it, stick around. I'll be happy to show you. Hey guys, it's me, Cali. Welcome to my Dice and Deal Challenge for the month of March. Each month I roll the dice, and based on the number rolled, as long as it's above a 4, I pick the corresponding number of cards from my mixed media deck. This one's from Cali Give Hand. You could use the deck of your choice. I then create an art journal page based on the prompts. It's a lot of fun. It's always a surprise. So I encourage you to join me here and do your own page based on these prompts given or your own interpretation. I've already prepped my journal page with gesso, so let's get rolling. Roll to number 9. Going to draw 9 cards. Shuffle these good. They're still stiff. This is only our 3rd challenge. Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we'll just draw them off the top. Add a 3D element. Okay, what a way to start. Let me figure out what I'm going to use. I'll come back with my journal and we'll get going. Okay guys, like I said, I'm using my Delusions journal by Ranger. This is 8.5 by 11-ish. I've already prepped my page, put some masking tape down and a coat of gesso, and we're ready to roll here. I really didn't know where I wanted to go with this 3D element thing. Interesting way to start the page. One of my first thoughts was eggshells. I also thought of using some drywall tape, gauze maybe, chipboard things. You know, I went back and forth, and ultimately I have decided to just use some cardboard. This is just from a box I got in the mail, and I'm going to use my Aleene's clear tacky glue and just kind of, you know, rip it and expose some of the texture underneath. Now, I know this is not such an original idea, but because it's so early on in the journal page, I want to at least just have some type of a foundation that we can build on. But that's the fun for me, is not knowing where these pages are going to take us. So I'm just going to go around the page randomly. I am not going to cover the whole entire page. And I'm going to glue these down, and I'll come back and I'll show you how it looks. So what do you think? I think it looks pretty cool actually. And as you can see, for a change, I did not cover every square inch of the paper. I tried to change up the direction of the ridges here in a couple of places. So there you have it. Let's move on to the second prompt. Add washi tape and or tissue tape and or masking tape. Wow, lots of tape. I'll gather some tape. See you in a minute. Okay, I don't normally use a lot of washi tape in my artwork, so this will be interesting. But I have some of this with some cool buttons on it. I got in some Happy Mail, and I also have a smaller roll of masking tape. So just going to kind of randomly, without any big thought into it, just put some of these down in between the cardboard pieces. It'll be interesting to see what remains to be seen. Speaking of seeing, when this page gets done. And break out some masking tape too. What do you think? It's kind of cool. Actually, I always say I'm ready to move on, and then, oh, one more spot. Let's do one more up here. It's funny how you think you're being random, but your brain takes control. Just have this smaller tape, and maybe I'll even just rip that to make the pieces a little thinner. And I love the way that masking tape looks with paint over it, all the texture in it. It's very cool. Alright, I'm not going to do a lot here. Let's just, I don't know. Get rid of this piece too. Okay, so let's, what do you think? I mean, that's just kind of whatever, right? Let's move on to our next card and see what that holds. Use your favorite rubber stamp. Well, that's cool. Let me go look. I have some new ones that I might use. Be right back. Okay, this may not be my favorite stamp, but it's one of them. And it's certainly small enough to fit within the spaces of where I want to stamp. It doesn't really make sense for me to try to stamp over this texture here, but who knows. That being said, I'll probably do it. I'm going to use my StazOn in jet black just because it's handy and I have it. And again, without any forethought at all, let's just stamp away, shall we? Let's, just because I said I wouldn't, let's do it. Yeah, because of course that looks very cool. Okay. And one more right there. All right. Oh, maybe one more. There's always a spot for one, isn't there? How about coming off the page? All right. Perfect. Let's move on and see what our next prompt is. Rub gesso or paint in random places with your fingers. I was wondering when we're going to break out some kind of paint. Excellent. Let me grab the gesso. I'll be right back. Okay, I gathered an assortment. I've decided I'm going to do gesso and paint. So I have just some Liquitex Basics, and sticking with the color theme so far, this is my Americana Multi-Surface Satin in Brown Sugar. And then for some reason I thought that I needed some gold, so this is DecoArt Elegant Finish Metallic Paint in Emperor's Gold. So I am going to use my fingers and just kind of maybe do one finger per color. Let's try that. Let's see what happens. Do a little finger painting. Try to remember which finger. And see if you guys can see this. Oh, I've already mixed up my fingers. Okay, well that's good. I'm not going to try to cover up too much. Just kind of dab. Go this way. See, that's, to me, that's almost too much, but what do you think? Interesting, huh? Really not sure. Not really, that brown sugar is a little lighter than I would have wanted. Maybe a little darker brown, but we're gonna go with it. We're going with it. There's 9 prompts and we're only on prompt number 4, so just gonna try to use up some of this. Oh, you guys can't really see, I'm sorry. Let's see. And I think that may be it. Let this dry. Yeah, you know, it's okay. Not my favorite, but we'll see. This might turn into my favorite page. It's happened before. So can you see those colors? Interesting. This could be have a little steampunk feel to it. Alright, while that dries, let's pick another prompt and then prepare for that, okay? So right here. Interesting. Add tissue paper or colored paper towel. Now we're getting interesting. Okay, cool. Let this dry, gather some tissue, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, I went digging through my stash and I decided to use, I have some last remnants of this roll of Tim Holtz Ideology tissue, and just some scrap pieces actually, and I'll tear those up. And I also grabbed some brown tissue paper. I had a few pieces of that, and I'm going to adhere it with my Americana Decoupage matte medium. I've already put some in my palette dish here, and again, very randomly, I'm just going to kind of, I'll show you, you know, 1 or 2 pieces and then see where this takes us. I'm just going to rip this a little bit. I don't know how this is going to go over the, I will try to put it here. For instance, see if we can kind of mush it into that. I probably should have got the back of the tissue wet before I tried to smush it down, but we'll make it work. And then I'm going to continue all over the page, but I'll just show you the brown tissue now. I don't know how thin I want that because this will become very transparent. Let's see. Up here. Okay, so this is my lack of a plan, and I'm going to go around the page again, not everywhere. I'm determined to not do that this page, but we'll see. Yeah, and I'm going to leave it, you know, kind of bumpy if it sticks up a little bit, and just kind of add that kind of texture all over the page, and I'll show you what that looks like when it's dry. Okay, what do you think? This is how it turned out. I think it looks pretty cool. It's mostly dry, and dry enough so we can pick another prompt. See what we get. Add numbers to your art. Well, I definitely remember this prompt from last month, and it looks like it's come out to play again. So let me go get some numbers and we will add them. Okay, so I decided to do some stenciling for this prompt, and I just grabbed This is a Tim Holtz mini stencil, and there's some numbers here. And I also have some white stays-on and a little makeup sponge here. So I'm just going to, randomly stencil in some numbers and see how that looks. I was going to do black, but I thought the white might look cooler. It does look cool. Alright, let's see. Especially against that, like the brown tissue paper. Alright, oh, I like it. Hey Mikey. Let's do this big strip here. I should use this white ink more often. I forget about it sometimes. So you know the drill. I'm going to go around and continue putting in some more numbers. Not too much more. Let's see. Here's a 375. And yeah, I'll come back and show you. Actually, maybe I won't even come back. Maybe I'll stay right here and finish, because I think we're almost done. Actually, let's do lucky number 13 right up top. It is a little difficult with the corrugated cardboard. But yeah, it looks pretty cool, don't you think? Am I done yet? I don't know. How about one more right here, kind of sideways? Alright, what do you think? We've added our numbers. Looks good enough to me. Yeah, there you have it. Alright, let's pull another card while we're here. Moving right along. What are we up to? Number 7. Use spray inks through a stencil. Okay, I knew we were bound to start covering stuff up. I like how it looks right now. Actually, very cool. I'll be back with some spray inks and some more stencils. Okay guys, so I'm going to use one of my Andy Skinner stencils. This one is Sunburst. Actually looks very similar to the one we used last month, which was Tornado. But I haven't used this yet, I don't think. I'm just going to put it down here, and I have my DecoArt Media Mister. This one's in Carbon Black, and I'm hoping that this is just going to kind of lightly, not do too much, but it's going to do what it's going to do. So I've kind of tried to protect my area a little bit, and let's just, oh, see, it's coming out really drippy. It's not real spray-y. Every one of these sprayers are different. And I do have a book to paint off on, but, well, alright. It's kind of grungy for sure. Move it down here and kind of do the same thing. I was hoping for more of a mist, but it is what it is. We applied spray inks through a stencil, right? And while we're at it, while that dries, let me pull these up here. Here's our cards. And we have 2 left. And I never peek, you guys, so just so you know, I never know what's coming. Let's take it right from the top. Draw something. Freehand, sketch, or trace. Wow. Alright. Gotta think about that. I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm really struggling with this prompt. I love to draw, but there's, it's almost the end of the page, and I really don't want to draw anything directly on the page. I was thinking a face, or I really didn't know. I thought maybe just do a border or some scribbles around. And then I told you I was have my paper out to put my stencil paint on, to kind of paint off on. And it's just a book that I keep to do that. I'll use excess paint, and you know, it's an old photo album that I had gotten at an auction, and this was one of the pages that I opened to, and I had done this with excess brown acrylic paint, and there's that gold again. So I thought, well, maybe I'll just do a simple shape like a heart. And that reminded me of a project I recently did where I made a polymer clay jar and I did hearts in it, and it was kind of steampunk. So I thought maybe if I draw a heart and cut it out and then try to do some gears or cogs on it, and then we can, you know, put it here, and that may blend in a little more. What do you guys think? I think that's what I'm gonna do for now. And sometimes simple shapes are best. We have a whole lot going on in the background, so that's what my gut is telling me to do, so that's what I'm gonna do. So I'll see you back here when I have that drawn and cut out. Alright guys, this is what I came up with. You know, it's pretty basic, but I like it. You know, what's not to like about a heart? I literally just cut it out of this paper, and I used my, I wanted to try to keep with the steampunk theme, so I used my Andy Skinner cog stencil. I love this thing. And a makeup sponge with some stays on. And sorry that I didn't show you, I just got caught up in it. So I am going to use good old Aleene's clear tacky glue, and we'll just glue this down. And while that's drying, we'll pull the last card here, and who knows where it's going to take us. I'm just going to put this right center stage. And I went around the edges with the black ink as well, and maybe when it dries I'll outline it just to make it pop a little bit. I'm going to have to keep this pressed down just to, with all that texture going on underneath. So while I do that, let me do two things at once here and pull our last card. Oh my goodness, use watercolors. Watercolor crayons, markers, sprays, and or cake pan watercolor, gouache and or cake pan watercolors. I do have some watercolor crayons, so maybe we'll use those. I don't think well, I do have other watercolors. I don't know. Let me take a look. Interesting. Maybe we could do a border, or wow, there's a lot going on there, huh guys? Looks kind of cool though. I like it. What do you think? Let's get some watercolors. Okay, so I've decided to use these Stettler watercolor crayons, and I'm just going to use the brown and the black, keeping with the theme. And I also hunted around and came up with this old Prang set. These are my grandkids, and these are really old and beat up, but I may use some of the black and brown from that as well. So I have a couple of brushes here and a glass of water. So let's just kind of, like I said, maybe I'll do a border if I can. Move this stuff out of the way. And then, let's see, I'll take this, let's do the brown first. Just going to kind of roughly go around, and then I'll activate these. And we'll see. Keep it real messy. I had a lot of fun with this page. How about you guys? Let me know if you decide to do it. Check out the links below. There's a Facebook group as well, where you can come join along and post your work. I'll put all the prompts and a list there, as well as at the end of the video. Now I'm just coming in with that black, and same thing, I'm just going to go around very roughly, and I'll show you how I'm going to activate it, and then I'll probably continue this off camera, and I will take some pictures so you can see at the end what it looks like. So let's just get some water here and going back and forth. Okay, I'm going to keep it real wet. I'm going to let it run. Okay. I'm just going to go around all the way, back and forth. Nothing spectacular. And I'll come back here and show you when it's done. Okay? Okay guys, this had a chance to dry all night, and I'm in love with all the texture on this page. I think it looks really cool. If I were to further embellish this or continue on with it, I would definitely add on to the heart, you know, maybe some chipboard or metal elements to kind of bring out those more of a steampunk feel. And I also feel like maybe this could have used a quote or a song lyric or something like that, but you know, it's hard to know when to stop sometimes, and the purpose of this challenge for me is to take me to places I wouldn't normally go, and you know, it is what it is. So let me know if you like this. Please join along. I would love to see your guys' interpretation of these prompts. I'll put the prompts after the video as well as in the Facebook group, and I'll have all the links below. Check out Kyella Givehand's links too, and have a beautiful day. I'll see you guys next month.